Have you ever thought about it this way? It's a way to cheat the max height, and it's pretty damn simple. So both the official DJI Mavic 3 wide lens and the Ulanzi wide lens are 15.5mm equivalent lenses. They both have a 108-degree field of view angle, and they're about the same weight. The DJI version is 1 gram heavier, and if we weigh them, you'll see that the Ulanzi one comes in at 12 grams, just like it says in the instruction manual. And the Hasselblad one doesn't even show up. So, where is the $110 difference between the Ulanzi and the official DJI wide-angle lens, or wide-angle filter, whatever you want to call it? It's basically an attachment you put on top of your lens, and as you can see, it looks like this. It's pretty simple. It hasn't got much to it. The camera at the top is just a hole, so there's no glass or plastic or filter, so you can stick your hand or your finger or whatever you want to stick in there. Now, it comes in at $69. $69. The official DJI one comes in at $179, which is a surprising price for a filter. I don't have the DJI one, but I've seen examples, I've seen tests of it, and I've got to say it looks pretty much identical to the Ulanzi one. Now, the Ulanzi one does have an 8% distortion value, minus 8%. So you're going to see warping, going on. If you move the camera up and down, tilt it, you're going to see warping going on, which is pretty evident. That's easily compensatable. Is that a word I should use? Film Poet's made a fantastic plugin that I've been using for a couple of years, so I will link that down below. If I make my own, I'll link that as well, so you can download it. You basically pull it on top of your footage if you're in Final Cut Pro, and it will fix it. Now, if you go into custom, go down, type in 08, it should make everything perfect. And you don't have to worry about any warping, any fisheye look going on. It will look nice and straight. So what do I think about this lens? I've been waiting for a wide lens, and this Ulanzi lens basically ticks most of my boxes. It could be a touch sharper in the corners, but the drone can handle it, and there's a good reason for that. DJI has its own wide lens, which costs a little bit more, but it weighs 13 grams. So the Mavic 3 is actually made to hold extra weight. Putting the Ulanzi filter on, unlocking the gimbal, you'll see it's front heavy. But that's no match for the monstrous motors holding the gimbal up. Flying it around, I've had absolutely no problems with the gimbal tipping or being unsteady. And I personally love that we can jump from such a wide field of view, like 15mm, all the way up to a 7x zoom. It makes this drone that little bit more diverse. It makes it more of a monster. Now, considering this is a pretty wide lens, I mean, we're going for 24mm on the native Hasselblad lens to 15.5mm on a filter, so there's got to be some, side effects to that. And one thing is that you can't put a ND filter on that you would normally stick on. As it weighs a gram less than the official DJI wide-angle lens for the Mavic 3, maybe Ulanzi can fashion a slip-on ND filter just for people who want to be a little bit more professional and stick with the 180-degree rule instead of using auto, as I'm sure in daylight the shutter is going to be way up there and it's going to be very jittery. Another thing is just like the official version, your drone will recognize that you have a wide angle filter on straight away. So stuff like master shots, is a no-no. Stuff like panorama, no-no. Hyperlapse, no-no. We don't even have waypoints, DJI. I mean, my Mavic 2 Pro has waypoints and I love them to pieces. So you can't use it on a lot of the intelligent modes. You can use it in video and photo. And you know, there is a difference. There is a vast difference. However, in some of the corners, it's a little bit soft, especially if we're at like 2.8, you will see the soft on the edges. My bottom right corner is a little bit soft, but this thing is pretty damn sharp anyway. So making it not perfect is something I actually enjoy. I mean, check this out.
I was born here. It was a long time ago. I haven't been back for ages. And I remember this is the spot. This is the spot where I buried the Mini 2. I was hoping I'd never have to make another film about it. I had nightmares at night. I had nightmares at day. But this is where I finally stopped making films about the DJI Mini 2. I even forgot where I buried it. Funny that, isn't it? Maybe lucky. Very lucky.
And the minimal focus distance is right about there. That is really close. It's about 35, 36 centimeters to the tests that I have done, which is really nice because you can get some beautiful out of focus backgrounds going on. If you focus in so close at 2.8, you can really make things look very, you know, cinematic. So that is a huge bonus to this, that really, really close minimal focus distance. It kind of, you know, floats my boat. So for example, if you're following someone from behind, you're filming a tree, anything in focus, it just has this beautiful feeling to it, like you're shooting wide open, you know. So that's a really great thing about the Ulanzi wide angle lens, is that it has very close minimal focus distance, which, you know, makes me happy. Is it a lens that I'd buy for $69, $110 cheaper than the official DJI Mavic wide lens? Yeah, I would. I think it's fantastic. I did get it for free, so thanks guys. And I also did get the anamorphic lens, which I'm testing. But this, it's worth it. If you're looking for a wide lens, you want something with a wider field of view that you can, you know, easily fix in post when it comes to the fisheye kind of look, then this thing is awesome. And it also gives that image a little bit of dirt, you know, it makes it a little bit soft in places, which kind of, it's nice. It's cinematic, you know. I could use those when I say cinematic because that's just thrown around way too much. Fantastic lens. Any questions, comments, do drop them down below. If you haven't liked, make sure you do. And you know, the subscribe button down there, it should be grey, by the way. Whatever you do, if you don't like me, you don't watch my films, that thing should be grayed out so it's not a funky red color. I think I've said everything I wanted to say.